thank you guys for tuning in for this exclusive Chaos Culture Radio. You already know what time it is, guys. Make sure you hit that link. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you will never miss this type of exclusive interview we have prepared for you guys today. So, it's good to have Hakeem. Of course, unfortunately, Jordan's not here with us, but Hakeem, what's going on, big dog? What's
living
happening?
the dream? What's popping with you?
Nothing much, man. Hakeem, you ain't gonna introduce your special.
No. Listen. I'm gonna let her introduce.
Go ahead. Go right
I'm gonna
ahead.
let her introduce herself.
All right. Let me jump into this thing. What's up, y'all? I'm Kareem Stevie. Y'all might have seen me in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Trying to support my guys. Of course, this is my family. I've been with the Chaos Culture fam since the beginning. You know, now I'm just kind of like somebody in the clouds that's making sure all the strings get pulled the right way. So, but today is a special episode. You know, I wanted to bring some arts and culture to the show. And I wanted to invite a dear friend of mine to the podcast. So before I actually formally introduce the artist, I want to go ahead and give an intro to give y'all a little bit of background of who she is, how she started, and then we'll actually get into this beautiful conversation. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. Kersey is a visionary vocalist, mother of two, a healer, and a gardener from Berkeley, California. She has a natural talent to sing, but she's also classically trained. Kersey is a world traveler, and she considers her sound to be world music. Her unique sound mixes jazz fusion, reggae, pop, soul, and hip hop. She has independently recorded and released several solo projects throughout the years. Some of her collaborators and features include Mikey Rocks, Chuck English from the Cool Kids, Kareem Stevie, myself with Land of the Free Project, and many more other collaborations. Kreyshawn, who directed her video for Fuchsia Glaze in 2010. Monk, Hard to Stop. Equipto, Paul Wall, Fabi Australia with the Flores Verdes Project. Fela Kuti, TT Williams, Guns of Oakland, RTK, Wadada I, and Go Dev with Bobby Brackens. So I want to give a warm welcome, y'all. Let's type it up. Bring energy for Empress Cara in the building. Y'all already know what time it is.
Great to see you. Thank you for joining us for this Chaos Culture Radio exclusive.
Yes, thanks for having me, you guys. Live and direct from the Bay Area, California.
Shout out to the Bay.
To align and get our time zones together and be present with one another. So give thanks for having me.
Shout out to the Bay. So, Hakeem, we got a special music video we were about to play. So, What is the title of it? And let's go ahead and let's play it for the Chaos Culture Radio family so they can check it out.
All right. I'm gonna play one of my favorite songs. Because I know her, so
set you free to be still and just breathe. In her knowledge is everything. It will help you grow the wisdom you're born to know. protector of the land and sea, healer of the people, the birds and the bees. Mama Africa, Mama Africa.
Man, this is dope. Very spiritual. Love it. Love it.
Give
Very
thanks.
spiritual. Yeah, very spiritual. Very spiritual.
Yes,
So that being
yes,
said,
yes,
so
yes.
Kareem, you want to go first? You want to go first, Stevie? You want to ask the first question first?
Sure. I mean, you know, I definitely get the conversation started. I do have some questions prepared because you know I'm just like, what's the word? I just try to be perfectionist, but I would want to just start with the video, Mom of Creation. I was lucky enough to do the cover art, so this song is streaming right now on all platforms. But I want to pass it on to Cara so Cara can talk to us and tell us about the concept of the video, like where you shot it, what was the whole inspiration. You know, you're with child in the video, which is a rare
Yes.
thing you don't see in a
Yes.
lot of music videos, especially
Mhm.
with female artists. So, Cara, go ahead and take it away, Empress.
Yes. So first of all, the video was shot in LA. Malibu was the most of the capturing. And the inspiration was carrying life as a mother of creation, as a woman. We're like fertile, magnificent oracle beings, you know. So I wanted to capture that. I was pregnant with my daughter at the time. I think I was like 6 or 7 months pregnant. And I traveled down to LA, captured the vibes at a national waterfall area with some drones, and then we drove to Malibu and captured the scene at the ocean, and just wearing ancient indigenous clothing. If you can tell, I was wearing an Ethiopian blue dress representing the East, where we come from, as African ancestors. Most of us come from the East, Kush, many tribes. And then I was wearing a beautiful Mayan dress too from Mexico, just representing the woman and the life force that we are. So so that's what that video is about. Like, when you're lost, look to researching your history and knowing where you come from, so it can like realign you and know that you are here for a journey, like you're here for a reason. And so if you know yourself, if you research history and you begin to like know thyself. So that's kind of like the taste of the video.
Not only that, but what made you get into this type of music with this form of spirituality? Because, of course, as you can see, playing that music video, you can see the spirituality of it. So, what made you get into that type of music, that music genre?
I love reggae, and I love Rastafari. That's what helped me in my journey as a person,
Hmm.
guided and have discipline. And so that's really just reggae, the resilience of empowering yourself as a person of color and standing up for your rights. That's what reggae is. It's like it's a cultural realization that this is a platform to be able to sing your truth and embody your ancestors. So
Rastafari. I love the Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Trust me, I love the Rastafari. I love the Rastafari. As you can see, I got dreads. I love the Rastafari. I really do. I
Yes.
love the Rastafari. But go ahead, Hakeem.
Yeah. So KRs, let me ask you a question. What adversities have you faced as far as being a artist in this industry?
Ooh, that's a really large question. I think the biggest one is self-doubt,
Mm,
because you can get caught into that, like in my early 20s, like fresh off the bat, I wasn't thinking about any of like the stuff that I'm thinking about maybe now or maybe in between the journey, because I've been doing this since I was 12 years old, traditionally like in choirs, and then got on a little like youth record label. And in that time I wasn't thinking about an industry. Then I started recording professionally, and then I think about somewhere along the line when I started uh, collaborating with multiple different artists, I didn't learn the biggest lesson, that we are not all compatible. So then I started linking up with certain folks that were creating self-doubt within me because their ego was dimmer than my shine. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like my
Yeah.
shine was brighter than theirs. And at the time I didn't even know that. And so they were, saying things behind my back, me finding out. It starts to lower your self-esteem. So um, me taking a long break after having my daughter was a decision, because it was the first time in my life that I actually wasn't enjoying music anymore. My whole life. This is my biggest medicine. This is the one of the biggest gifts and life wheels I'm supposed to be doing. And it just wasn't feeling good anymore. It didn't feel natural. It felt forced. So I took a minute out the game, and it was a long minute. And then when I took that out, when I stopped, it was really hard psychologically to jump back in.
Mhm.
Um, it took me to move all the way to Miami 305
In the
to
building.
reestablish, myself, and working on the farm, and realizing, I do have many gifts. Somebody's echoing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's okay. And that helped me like like establish myself, because I
Mhm.
realized, okay, yeah, music is a part of of my life, but there's many other things too, like gifts that I'm supposed to be doing, like gardening. I'm a teacher, I'm a mother. So incorporating that, and it helped my self-confidence boost back up, you know what I mean? And realize that, oh, I'm on a mission. Like, I'm gonna keep creating. What can I do? So then that's some of the adversities, okay?
I do want to say, man, I wish we had more time when you were in Miami, but we just gonna put it in the future that more time will happen for us to like get to where we want to go as far as making more music together. A question I had, I kind of wanted to go back, because I feel like a lot of the folks in Chaos Culture Radio in the audience, the people that rock with this show, this is the first time they're hearing about you, and I think it's important to allow people to really get to know an artist that is refreshing, that is putting out messages that are extremely positive and uplifting. You see, right now the world is just so chaotic. There's just negativity consuming us daily.
Yeah.
And for someone like myself, who I actually look to music as like just for inspiration, just like work out to music, like music is my life. And so it's always been cool to know of an artist like yourself that is like your music is actually guiding, like you said, the music is a guide for you, but through your music you guide other people.
Yeah.
So my question I had is, can you share with us like your first musical experience or performance, like when you were younger, that like changed you, that made you be like, wait, people
Mhm.
like my voice, like what, if you can go back to like your younger self and sort of
Wow.
look back
My
on that.
mom was the first one to really like, okay, um, no, like, because I started at a community center here in Richmond, California. And it's a free space for children, and I did dance lessons, performances, etc. And my mom was like, the teacher pulled her aside and was like, your daughter can really sing. And I was like about 4 years old. And so I was like, no, mom, like, heck no, I don't, like my mom always tells the story. No, I was always saying no. And it took me till I was about, I think 12 years old to be like, I want to do my music. Once I did that, it's like stepping off the porch. You know what that term is in the hood? For me, and musically, that was my form of stepping off the porch without it being in a negative context, though. Um, I I was struggling in school throughout my life. I was labeled with child with learning disabilities, but I just was not being I wasn't being met, you know what I mean, with teachers, or people just didn't know how to teach me. I'm very, very creative. So people would talk to me and I would zone out if I didn't connect. So that music connected me. It was about 12 years old where I fought myself out of this system of these learning disabilities. They labeled me because they couldn't meet me where I was at. And it boosted my confidence. I had an identity that was my part of my identity. I'm multiracial, cultural background at the time. It helped me with that a lot because I could relate everything to my music, math to my music, writing to my music, characters I met, to my music, and that's kind of how it started, right then, 12 and on.
One thing I always notice, like people that's the most creative people in the world, they always say they had a learning disability. That's the most,
Mhm.
and don't you kind of find that to be very odd? The most creative people are the
Yeah.
one with the most learning disabilities.
Yeah, and it's rooted because we're in a Eurocentric realm. You know what I mean? In
Mm,
Afro psychology, I've taken lots of classes. In Afro psychology,
mm-hmm,
in African psychology, that's not even a concept. Like in Eurocentric,
mm,
European psychology, they like to label us. They like to label us, and that's diagnosis. But in African psychology, they use astrology, math, and we sector into these things that we're good at, and we master that, and we go to other masters too to help us with our foundation, and stuff. So that's where it comes. It comes from labeling us with disabled when we don't branch into their Eurocentric
mm.
box. And so lots of students, especially African descended, indigenous descended, are being placed these disabled categories. And with ADD, ADHD, autism, da 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 da. And it happens right when they enter these institutions, starting in preschool.
Mm.
So, yeah, and I can
Well
go
said.
into it really deep because I'm a teacher myself and I work outdoors. So I really see it. I've seen it with my children. They're both totally different seeds, like totally different. My son's like bright, like genius kid. And then my daughter is very creative like me. And some of these peoples have tried to later label her. And I just step forward like, don't label my daughter. Literally staying and telling them, don't label any children. She's fun. She's little. She don't know better, you know? So
The power
yeah.
of words. Oh, my question is, what do you think about the music industry today? What's your idea? What's your opinion about it? Because a lot of people say the music
That's
industry
a
pretty much
really
changed than what it used to be. So, what's your thoughts on that?
okay. I'm gonna explain it almost like I would explain it to a 4-year-old. Basically, you got pirates, right? Pirates. What are pirates? Pirates are people that steal, right? Or take or want to dominate and take over a place, right? So that's what it is. There's CEOs of the industry and their gateways. There's people you have to go through these gateways, and if you have to create your own, which a lot of us are doing now. They're creating their own way into the game, Because it's a game, and I learned that the moment I did The Voice. I did a whole. I auditioned to The Voice
Oh, you did The Voice?
at the Staples Center, and I had this garments on. I was so royal, and I was in the heights. I was a Rastafari princess around thousands of all these crazy different personalities. Like, and I remember being like, oh my God, kind of like, what did I just enter? You know, like, what did I enter into? And I had to excuse myself waiting because I think we were like on a lunch break or something. Like the judges were on a lunch break, so we were sitting there for a good couple hours. So I walked around and I sat down, and these guys were like started governing around me, like coming and sitting by me. Black brothers, because that's what happens when you're an empress. You attract that kind of stuff, you know. And so men were sitting next to me, and they were really respectful, and they were like, "What's she gonna sing, sis? Like, or what are you gonna sing?" And I was like, "I'm gonna sing Ella Fitzgerald." And they're like, "Oh no, don't sing that. You need to have the most like current song, like, and don't sing that. Trust me, this is my second audition with The Voice." And I was like, oh, okay, I was like, okay, good to know. And I went in there and I performed it, and I didn't get it. And I realized then, like, if you can't have your own in these big platforms, like really big platforms in the music industry. You can't have your like own identity. They want to use you as clay to make a character, an alias, because that's what you are when you are in this industry. You have to create these aliases for albums. Like Lady Gaga, she has multiple aliases. Like, Michael, Prince, all of us have had these different personalities. So that's what it was when I learned. So yeah.
Um, we have artists like Lady Shaw, Patra, Spice,
Yeah.
and I always wondered, and maybe you can answer for me.
Mhm.
Reggae, dance hall, and the genre you do is very male dominated. How do you yourself, being a woman, navigate through all that, and the troubles that comes with just being a woman? I don't know if you are married or if
Mhm.
you're single. How do you navigate through that in a male dominated genre?
Um, well, I am not single right now.
Mm.
Um, but in those situations, wow, it's such a big question. My heart is actually kind of pacing because it's such a big question. Um, I'm trying to do it respectfully too. Um, Male dominated spaces. So for me, and it's really cool that you're bringing up reggae and dance hall. For me, like you either have to know somebody, you have to know somebody or date somebody to kind of, or have in reggae for me, what I've experienced and have met and talked to other artists is either you have to date someone in the game, be married to them, or be related to them to actually be respected, or work with a really big top producer. And so that's really, as a woman, and it's really, really like an upsetting feeling because it's just like a very judgmental genre, reggae for me, I've noticed. And I love it so much. So I stopped thinking like that though, when I found that out and started just being like, whatever, I'm just going to keep creating my own albums and my own art and like not like focus on that because when I've worked in hip hop, in R&B, I don't experience that. I'm very respected. I'm loved. It's like a treasure. Like, oh my gosh, she's a good singer. Oh, she could get on my hook. Like we could do a collab. Like, oh my God, and they love you. They're excited because, there's some weird singers out there. Um, so it's just a different thing. So I feel like I've been more respected in the hip hop realm like that. But I also know whatever you think, you can manifest. So if you're going into a studio and you're not going in with confidence and you're surrounded by heck of dudes, and it don't matter what you wear what you want to wear, sis. But like, you better be the auntie and the sister in the room. Like, boy, you better give me respect because I've never had nothing really bad happen to me, and I think it's really been because of an energy shield, like a cloak, an invisible cloak, where I'm just like, hey, what's up? Like, damn, she's gorgeous, but I know not to be disrespectful to her because it's like, you know what I mean? So back to that question, it's a very big question. Yes, very male dominated realm. Misogynist, that's just, it's a dominating situation. But if I had to tell any young girl, young woman, um, look at those brothers in their eyes like it's your, like you talking to your, they like you have uncles and daddies and stuff. You know what I mean? Because then the males can feel that. Even if they don't know it all the way, they feel it. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Right.
that's it.
Go ahead, Kareem. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I had dropped out a little bit, but I love that you say that because me and Prince Hakeem, which I will kind of throw this little Easter egg in there. So all of us have collaborated before. You know, Prince Hakeem is also Brown Dollars, also Carlos Brown, also Mr. Bodega, also hashtag Music Is My Life, tatted on my arm. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's had so many iterations, but of course, um, we did crystals together, right? Like
Yeah.
this is like 2013, 2014. So it's just dope to have like the creative energy and finally to have y'all. Well, y'all met before, but
Yeah.
for us to be able to have a conversation because he's like my manager, low key. Like he's the person that
Yeah.
right now he tells me like, hey, what we doing? You know what I mean? And kind of
Mm-hmm.
we motivate each other. And I feel like me and you have had that same dynamic too, where it's like
Right.
we keep each other going. We continue to just push each other in the right direction and not but the reason why I bring this up, me and him just did a song called Magnet, and at the end of the song he says like if you think you're a queen, you're a queen. If you think you're a king, you're a
Yeah.
king.
Yeah.
And the song is about law of attraction and manifestation and all that. But
Yep.
it's like to your point, if you carry yourself a certain way, then I mean that has to be what's within has to come outside. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
Um, and it's just what it is. It's like you're shifting the energy in the space. You know, instead of
Yeah.
letting the space take you and mold you and tell you who you are or who you should be. And so that's
True.
what I think is pretty dope. Like even when me and Carl first met, man, not to put dates on stuff, but like the first time I seen Carl perform, this is 2009 in Atlanta. So we both live in Atlanta and we were part of the music scene there. Carl
Yeah.
had just kind of got there, and I had already been there, but we were both
Yep.
playing a festival called the Atlanta Indie Music Festival,
Oh
which was put
yeah.
on by like friends in the community. This kid I went to
Corey
school with called
Davis,
Corey Davis. He's another
Aware.
artist.
Hey, shout y'all out.
Yeah. So these guys we were all in the same sort of hub, and Atlanta's
Mm-hmm.
special in that way because when you're in a community, especially like the art community, like you will eventually bump elbows with everybody, whether
It's a
they're like
renaissance. It's a
well
renaissance for
known, whether
sure.
they're independent, whether they're just starting out, like you're going to interact. So when I first saw Cara, she was on stage just rocking out by herself. Like I remember I think you might have even had your backtrack too, and you were just going off. You were performing on the outside stage. I performed on the inside stage. Like, and I think I had probably just got off. I'm like, who's this?
Yeah.
And then like I don't know if it was months later, but we also ended up seeing each other at Arts Beats and Lyrics. And I was like, yo, I remember we met each other in the bathroom. I'm like, yo, you sing, right? Blah, blah.
Yep.
And from that moment, literally after that, and I feel like artists are not like this anymore. But like there was just like a genuine love and respect for the craft from both of us. And we were like, yo, you
Yeah.
dope, you dope.
Yeah. We
Oh,
were
let's work.
like
And
so like it was
immediately
like
we like locked in. We started working on
yeah.
music. Like there was no delay. I feel like today's
Mm-mm.
artists, sometimes you see them and you know, no offense to like the TikTok people and like it's like they have all this personality online, but you meet them and it's just a shell of a person.
Yeah.
You know what
Because
I'm
that's
saying?
their alias online. They create that alias. There's a social disconnect going on right now. with our generation, our kids, my children are dealing with. I was just talking to my son, like it's a band-aid, these like phones and devices. And then our socials, we weren't able to be socially, like we don't have any social engagements with people unless the phone is gone out of, for a couple hours. And then our brain starts to be able to like, oh, I can talk again. Because it's like, turns into mush almost, you know? I've seen it. It's like a glaze. You good, bro? You there? People walking around, walking in the street,
Big
they're
facts.
zombies, you know, they're in a mush because that's their band-aid because it makes them, oh, I'm getting all this information. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's so cool.
Right.
But we haven't even seen it yet. We're gonna see it probably when we elders, you know, like the real aftermath of this technology age of Aquarius, because we in the age of Aquarius now. So
Any final question, guys? Because 30 minutes is up. So any
I
final
know,
question?
but we kind of started a little bit late too, to be
okay.
honest. Um,
We
I
will do
do
a
want
part
to.
two, but we
I
will
do
do a
want to
part two.
add
But go ahead, go ahead, go
add
ahead.
to what she's saying, and the point I made that is because like the hunger that we had when we like even when we first met, like it wasn't like, oh, like about money. It wasn't about nothing. It was just like,
Mhm.
yo, we're young artists, like just trying to like team up and like, you know, for the love. And Hakeem could attest to this too. There's people that probably been doing it less than us, and sometimes they'll have this entitlement like, oh, I need to get paid for this, right? And it's like, bro, you haven't even put in the work that I've seen. You don't even have the love for the artistry. And maybe Prince Hakeem, you could kind of speak to that, like how like artists don't really be genuinely about it, you know what I'm saying?
Um, a lot has to do with the love of it, and if this is truly, if music is your life, if you really is, if music is, you're gonna keep doing it, not stop and pause or do something like that. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people have imposter syndrome, and you have confidence and insecurities that facing that, but you got to plow through that. So this is why it's kind of hard for me to take anybody seriously if you're not continuously working on your craft and still doing things. Because you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like there's people out there who really putting in work. They're putting out 6, 7, 9 songs a year and steady plowing, doing gigs, doing that. So you know what I mean? If you never know when your opportunity is going to hit.
true. That's an outlook for sure, Prince. I
Yeah,
really respect that for sure.
You know,
he has like such a beastly like monster
and
attack.
I don't take bullshit, like, and
Yeah,
I
I like
understand,
that.
because let me tell you something. I'm a man in this world. They'll just tell me to deal with it. So if this
Mhm.
is your dream, you can do it. We got
Yeah,
24 hours of the day. I meet a lot of artists. I come across a lot of artists. They always talk about adversities and this and that. We all go through that. But if you're not putting in the work, then that's what it is. So you know what I mean? I'm doing a project to try to prove a point to certain people, and to say that you only hold yourself back from the success that you want.
true.
So yeah, so we'll go ahead and wrap up. I do have two more questions.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know, Cara,
If
if you
folks,
had
I
any
can
other
stay
thoughts.
on. If folks have to go, they can. I can stay on a few more minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Ask your question. She can stay on for a few more minutes. So go right ahead.
Okay, awesome. Um, let's see. There was, and I think you kind of spoke to this, and then I'll finish with the fun one. What advice would you give to your younger self? And you're young. Hello, you're still extremely young, but you know, like looking back, like what? Yeah, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Um. Well, not know that you're not compatible with everybody. You don't need to be around so many different characters. Just hone in on your craft. Write your story. Be mindful of energetic vampires. Know what those are, what they look like in the game, because it's really a painted because when you're not just an artist, when you're an entertainer, that's different. When you're an
Mm,
entertainer, you are in the nightlife, which is a vampire energetic thing going on. So when you go up on stage, and then the worst part is when you get off, everybody want to come and greet you and talk to you, and that's when the vampire interaction comes on. So being able to have firm boundaries and tell them, oh, not right now, I'm drinking some water, respectfully give thanks though, I appreciate you, and keep it moving, because you don't even really need to engage in all that. That's too much. That's really too much. And that's not your role. Your role is to bless up the planet with balance again, because we're so out of balance right now.
No,
So
that's facts.
be
I
able
love
to
that.
restore the balance and come with that. And and
I love
and
that.
be
What
able to put out music that's not foolishness, because like Hakeem's saying, I really respect what you're saying, and I can see in your heart you putting out good music. But some people just putting out 9, 10, 15 tracks a year. It's foolishness, garbage, trash. I don't want to hear your shit. Nobody
No,
do.
but they only doing
It's
that so they
just
get
the
out of the
rhythm,
label. They
huh?
only doing that so they only doing that to get out of the label. They don't want to be in the label no more. So they trying to do like fast, be done with the album and try to get out. That's the only reason why they doing that fast track album, every album once a year and stuff like that. That's all.
Mm.
I don't think they really care too much about the music. They're just trying to get out of it, the contract. Because some of these guys got long contract. They be in there for like years.
Right.
Look at what Lil Wayne's going through. Lil Wayne's still under cash money. He's still trying to get out of it, but it is what it is.
No, that's definitely a perspective, but also just the era we living in too, where it's
True.
like we live on this like
fast.
a TikTok, like everything is quick, this millisecond, whatever. But I wanted to kind of touch on the energy thing and coming off stage and understand the power of like your energy, and I just thought that was really a dope observation, because it's like when you are on stage, you are exchanging so much energy. You know what I'm saying? And you done gave and you've received, and so that is something to kind of note. So I had two more questions really. One is pertaining to the single that you just put out a couple months ago, and the other one is, so maybe I'll say the fun one, and then we can wrap it up with the single, and then transition to the actual sharing the track with you guys. So this was fun. If you were stuck on an island and you could only bring 3 albums, what would you bring? What would be your top 3? Let me know.
Oh, albums. Ooh, sis, I am not good with
That's
names.
it.
If I could come with 3 artists, I could do that.
Okay.
Okay. Hugh Mendel, and Desiree, and third one would be, oh my gosh, these are all very reggae roots. I guess I would say Von Benjamin. He's a really rootsy artist too. I can just chill out to that kind of music for hours. So that would be calming for me and it's empowering music.
Like literally, it fits your personality. You're like, I just want to listen to stuff that's going to reiterate the vibe of being on the island. So that's
right.
dope.
Yeah,
that's so dope.
No, but I'm shocked she didn't say Bar Marley. I'm shocked. No Bar Marley nowhere.
I mean,
I love Bob. Bob is father. I've played him so much throughout my life. So I would love some songs of his, of course, but I'm talking about if I had a choice, 3 that I'm always listening to on this island, and I'm trying to get up off this island too, like make money moves too, like Mission, I would be listening to these 3 artists: Desiree, Hugh Mundell, and Akabeka who's the lead singer is Von Benjamin, like I just said.
Hugh Mendel, is he the Night Nurse guy? Is that his song?
That's Gregory Isaacs.
Oh, okay.
Hugh Mendel is he was never really recognized too deeply in reggae. He's called the Prince of Reggae or Angel of Reggae because he passed away when he was like 21. And he was a lot of mentors. A lot of his songs are like very like Psalms that he recreated from the Bible. His dad was like a minister, and his music is literally angelic. Like it's so beautiful. He's singing in nature, and he's just singing about like the reminders of like you are never alone. You are never alone. Look around you in nature. Look around you. You see everything all alive like you. One, being one love, unity. You hear people say that a lot. One love, Bob said one love. That meaning is being one with God. One with God. We are all one love. We are all one blood. You hear Junior Reed say stuff. One blood, one blood. You know what I mean? That means it's all unification. You're never alone. Jah is always with us everywhere we go. And that's
Facts.
what, yeah, and that's what every spiritual practice with Allah, you got your Reuben crew. Everybody is praying on that same frequency. Like we love God. God is all around us. You a child of God. Even when you go astray, meaning you're not righteous no more. You're not moving righteous. You're moving like a bad man. You're moving with a gun, and because most black men do carry a gun. You better, especially in America, but in other countries
That's
you
true.
can't have one at all. But I'm saying to protect ourselves because I'm about to go deep in some other stuff, but basically that's all. Okay, here's
That's for another
myself.
podcast. Yo, but perfect segue into the single True
Yeah,
Love,
true
which you dropped in
love.
May, right? Tell us
Yes.
more about that, the producer, the rhythm. Like, I want people to understand.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
producer is Wadada I, straight out of Chicago, Evanston. Blessed love, brother. He made the rhythm. He redid the rhythm. Um, the original rhythm. Oh my gosh, don't beat me up, reggae heads. It's the cross. Wait, no, no. What's the rhythm? Oh my gosh, a very famous rhythm, and it was oh my gosh, what's the rhythm? It doesn't matter, I guess. But it's originally written by White Mice. He was a very young brethren at the time. Like I think when he put that song out, True Love, he was about, I think, 12 or 13 years old. So I remade that song through him and recreated it, and we just vamped up the rhythm without I created.
Okay. Yeah. I want because I was like, out of all the rhythms, right? It's like that one. Why was that the message that you felt like, you know what? This is what I want to put out to share with the world, with everybody. This is the message.
Um, because like I was just talking about, true love is like you don't need to search no more. God is your
Mm.
true love because God made you. You know what I mean? Like
Preach.
just yeah, like you. That's what true love. Jaja give me true love. I do not need to search no more. Jah give me the true love. Even when you in the craziest pits of chaos in your mind, mental health, you just the biggest thing you do is like literally you breathe and you say, I'm in it. I'm in this. I'm really in the pits of fucking hell. That's a form of hell, right? You're struggling, but you're going to be able to get out of it with the will of God. And it doesn't seem like you will, but you really will by creating a plan, a step every day. Even if you live in your car, fucking slumped over, fucked, feeling fucked, literally.
Mm.
You write it down every day. It may not look like you're going to get out of it in that moment, but you are slowly getting out of it because you waking up with a plan. May go to make a
Right.
plan. Make a
Right. Right.
plan.
And God is with you even in that, like even in your pits of hell, like God is still
Mhm.
there,
God
you
is in,
know.
yeah,
Facts.
yeah. It's a part of
So
your journey, and like, it's we're in a system that's creating us to not have homes. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
mm,
Stop blaming yourself. It's
Mm.
not your fault. It's happened. It happened. Now, what do we got to do to get out of it? Go to the okay, get. That's why we do. That's why. And then when they call you like a thief or you're not a thief. You're trying to survive. You're trying to
mm,
survive and feed your kids. And it gets bad when you start stealing like TVs and shit. That's like, but that's because that's another way of trying to flip it to make money for your family.
mm,
You feel
mm,
me? And
right.
so it's like, but that's the spiral. You don't need to go that way. Just wake up with a plan. You know, there's plenty of if you're a writer, Sit down. You on your phone all the time? Write out. Find grants. Write out how I can get a grant. You a writer. Explain. Tell your story. Get that story out. Get them. You can get money like that. There's many ways of getting money. If you have a phone, you're on the phone all the time. Try and figure out how to write a plan. Put your notes out. Text yourself. Text it to yourself. If you don't have a app or enough space, text that stuff. What you gonna do? How to get out of it. Figure out what you're good at. Heck of things. You could be anything. You could be a chess tutor. You could be anything. You could be like a mentor. There's little jobs. Even in Florida, that was one of the hardest places to find a job in the country. I'm not gonna lie. Like what? So it depends where you at too. Some place like California, what's amazing about here is you can not have a degree and get somewhat of a tight job. There's hella jobs, but like in Miami, I didn't have a degree all the way at all. So I'm over here like, what can I do? What can I do? That's why it has the highest scam like in the country. That
Yeah,
place,
got what people hustle and scam. Yeah,
y'all is scamming left and right.
fact.
Could be
Yeah,
your
because it's
boyfriend, it
hard.
could be your partner, it could be your best friend. Somebody's
True.
scamming. It's like
Not too much on us, not too much on Miami-Dade County, okay?
No, but
Y'all,
she understand. But go ahead.
no, I mean, hey, listen, especially, you always gain perspective when you're away and you're in different environments and you just see what you can see.
well, people
what it
trying
is.
to survive. People
Yeah.
are trying to survive. They don't want to take you because you don't have a dumb degree. I mean, doesn't mean that's like I'm saying dumb because it shouldn't be this hard
Right.
to get places and do things and just live. They don't want people to live. They want people to be cattle but like they want us to be sheep and cattle. Same thing. You
No,
know?
you're right.
Yep.
So of course the final question of the day: where the people can find you, where they can subscribe to you, and where they can go and listen to your music. And then after
Yeah.
that, we'll play your premiere
So,
music video.
Okay.
That'll be a wrap. Go right ahead.
Kara Kersey. You can find me Kara, my Kersey. Most of my music on there. I'm on SoundCloud. Google my name. I'm on YouTube. I'll have a long chapter in SoundCloud because this is before you could put your stuff on big
Correct.
platforms. YouTube. Yeah, I'm on the gram. Cars Musica, Twitter, Cars Musica. I'm not on
So
TikTok, but yeah.
no, but I want to say so, folks. Don't worry, her name will be tagged. Of course, it's gonna be tagged on this video. It'll be
yep.
tagged all over
All
the
the
platform.
information down there.
So people will be able to find you. You know how it goes. So guys, like always, thank you guys so much for tuning in for
Thank
this Chaos
you.
Culture Radio exclusive. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and hit that
Yeah.
notification. And you never know what we might bring her right back again for another exclusive interview. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Kareem, for holding
Yes,
it down.
I'm
TV.
so
Thank you,
happy to
guys.
be here. Thank y'all for creating the space. And I want to give y'all boys y'all flowers because I know they've been at this podcast game now here.
Over 5 years.
Yeah, it's
Over
been
5
a couple
Right.
years. So
6.
big shout outs to y'all for
And we're not gonna stop
pushing
either.
through. Now y'all live. Y'all went from being audio. I was on the audio version to now y'all got live interaction. So big love to all the people that support the platform. Big love to y'all. Shout out to Jordan Era. He's not here, but he holds it down as well. I'm just happy I was able to, get back on, bring my girl on, bring some arts and culture and all of that. So there should be more.
We love to have her,
Definitely
and we will bring her again for part 2.
We'll bring her again. Yeah.
Time is against us. It's
Yeah.
the weekend, so time is against us. But however,
Yes.
we will bring her back for part 2. Well, go ahead, Hakeem. Let's play the exclusive music video. And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Go right ahead, Hakeem.
Jaja, give me true love, and need not search no more, boy. Jaja, give me true love, and need not search no more, boy. Jaja, give me true love, and need not search no more, boy. And once I was like a wandering sheep on this Jaja land, and there ain't no one to love me, and there ain't no one to care for me, but Jah, he shine his light, and Jah make me feel alright. Jaja, give me true love, and need not search no more, boy. Jaja, give me true love, and need not search no more, to care for me, but Jah, he shine his light, and Jah make me feel alright. Jah, Jah give me true love, and he not search no more, boy. Jah, Jah give me true love, and he not search no more, boy. And once I was like a wandering sheep on this Jah Jah land, and there ain't no one to love me, and there ain't no one to care for me, but Jah, he shine his light, and Jah make me feel alright. Jah Jah give me true love, and he not search no more, boy. Jah Jah give me true love, and he not search no more, boy. Jah Jah give me true love, and he not search no more.